Hey, welcome back everyone. Today in this video, we'll be talking about how we can add images to our website. So things might seem a little bland and boring with all of this text. Of course, the web page is not about only text, it can also contain images. So we can define images using a tag called as img. So let's actually use this img tag. So I will scroll down at the bottom. I will be adding an image, and you might be wondering like why is it displaying like big, right? That's because I have maximized it to 200% so that you can see things clearly. For in your case the things would be in 100%, but to clear visibility I will be maximizing it to 150% in this video. So that's it. And one more thing which I would like to highlight in this video is in the last video, sorry, not this. So in the last video, when I created this contact us page, I actually forgot to close the paragraph tag. So this is a common mistake which you might do as a beginner. So please always make sure that you close your HTML tags. When you open up HTML tag, please make sure you always close those. All right, let me close this paragraph tag. All right, let me save this and close it. So that's it. So coming back to images, we can use a tag called as, let me just make some spaces. All right. So the way we can define images is using an img tag, and that's it. This is the img tag. Certainly that's not it yet. uh, for example, we need to define a source attribute here. This source attribute tells the browser where to find the image. Like in the anchor tag, uh, we used to define an href, a destination URL. When I click on this link, it should take me to this. When I click on this future coders, it was taking me to my YouTube channel, right? So similar way, we need to define an image source, which image we need to display. And similar to anchor tags, this could be an absolute or a relative. An absolute link would be like whenever we insert the URL of the image directly, and a relative would be when we download the image and we load it locally. So don't worry, I will be giving both these examples. So first I'll be giving an example for absolute. So let's head over to Google Images. I will search for HTML logo. We are learning HTML, let's add our HTML logo to our web page. As you can see, there we have an HTML logo. Let me just open this image in a new tab, and there we have the URL for this image. What I will do is I will just copy this. All right, and I will just paste this here. As you can see, I have pasted the link. So let me save it, reload the web page. As you can see, there we have our big HTML logo, guys. Don't worry, we'll certainly make changes to it. We'll reduce the size of it. All right. So with source, img tag also takes another attribute called as an alt attribute. So what is this alt attribute? The alt attribute is an alternative description. This is an accessibility consideration providing meaningful information for users who are able to see this image. For example, let's define the alt description as HTML logo. So if the people who are like visually impaired, they can actually know that there is an image which is related to an HTML logo. So that's the use case of an alt, which stands for alternate description. So, and one more thing which I would like you to observe here is please note that like the BR tag which we use for line break, similar to that img tag doesn't have any closing tag. Did you observe that? Yeah, definitely. That's because we do not insert any content between the img tag. So there is no meaning to add a closing tag, right? So whatever we define inside the opening tag only. For example, we have defined the source attribute to tell the browser that this is where we want to load the image from. This is the alt description of the image. And there are like two more attributes which we'll be discussing in this video. Those are certainly, as you might have already guessed, as you can see, the image size is bigger. So how can we control it? For example, we can define width and height of HTML of this image. For example, let's add the width attribute. Let's say width I want it to be 100 pixels, and height, let's also define the height. Let's say the height should be also 100 pixels. Let's save this and refresh our page. As you can see there, we have our small HTML logo. So this is how we can control the size of an image. These width and height attributes are necessary because if they are excluded, the browser will tend to calculate the size as the image loads. In our case, as you might have already seen, the HTML logo was looking bigger, right? So which means that the layout of the document may jump around while the page is loading. So that's why we need width and height attribute for the img tag. All right. So we saw how we can define absolute image, right? Now we'll see one example for relative, how we can insert image which are downloaded from the internet. All right, let's download this image. I will save this image as in my desktop, in my HTML folder. I will save this as, let's rename it as HTML logo. So I will save this. All right. This is, make sure you know the name and the extension of the file. In our case, it is html-logo.png. All right. So here, instead of defining the URL, that is absolute URL, I will be defining the name of the image. So in our case, it is html-logo.png. Now, if I save this and reload the page, as you can see, nothing actually changes. To showcase that this image is loaded from the local computer. So if I will change the width to 200 pixels and height to 200 pixels, let's save this and refresh. As you can see, now the HTML logo is bigger. That's because we are loading. Let me just open up my, all right, we are loading this HTML logo from our folder locally, which is downloaded from the internet. Now this is called as how we can insert image relatively. So all right, certainly that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something about images. So before we end this video, if you haven't accessed the course playlist yet, please make sure you access it so that you can find the course very easily. Link to the playlist of this course is provided in the description box below. And also, if you haven't liked this video, please make sure you hit that like button, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. It helps me a lot. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.